Hello folks, my name is Octavian. This is going to be another episode of Challenger Casts, and I welcome you all. Just at the same time that the announcer does. I seem to do that a lot. I promise, I don't do it on purpose. I do not time the videos on purpose so that I'm saying welcome at the same time that she is, but it seems to work out that way quite often. Anyways, I've been having a lot of episodes of 100 casts lately, which is good. I got a lot of replays from that video that I put together asking for some. Always nice. Oh, actually, Wickd and Sharks might be going at Hulaka here. We do have Naru coming around from the side. We're in a good 2v2 brouhaha at this point. Turning around with a few more auto attacks. Wickd is looking to continue the fight because he knows that Soph is coming in from the side. I wonder if they're going to be able to catch up to this Rek'Sai. Did level up the Q first, so it doesn't have the ability to tunnel away if possible. Hulaka, nice sidestep on the Orb of Deception. Here comes the barrel. It explodes. Does some good damage. Nobody goes down, and actually, checking the summoner spells, it doesn't look like any summoners were burnt either, so nothing really too impactful overall. Does mean that Wickd leveled up that Q first, but not a bad thing to do as Aurelia. Q or W, usually what you go with. Blade Surge is rather nice to have for last hitting, especially if it gets pushed under your tower early on, which might be happening against the Rengar lane, and I just realized, bear with me for a moment, I did not rearrange these guys before hopping into the cast, which usually I do. I like to get them into the appropriate positioning so that you all are not looking around frantically trying to figure out who has what items. And partially for my own benefit as well. I do have to be 100% honest there. Soraka starting with the heal first to make doing that Gromp a little bit easier. Interesting strategy from Udak. As Hulaka looks to use the bushes to his advantage, leaps out onto Wickd, does get a Q onto him. Some good harass there, but there is a lot of sustain in this Aurelia. Another leap, there's the empowered Q, the exhaust has been dropped, Rengar is going hard for that fight. We swap back down to bottom lane. The early level 2 for Yuno and Armano. They might be looking to make use of this. This is the Kennen support, one of the reasons why I chose this replay. I've been very happy with it recently. Ooh, the stun lands. Kick might be in some trouble. He's forced to dash away from that one. Here comes Hulaka, lands the bolas. The slow is onto Wickd. One more stack. Doesn't have it, though. Not quite in range. But that's alright, because he's zoning Wickd away. He's getting the health advantage, not the CS advantage at this point. Wickd has been able to keep up in that, at least, but we are only 3 minutes into the game. That differential may yet show up. There's Gragas and Rek'Sai looking at the minimap there, seem to be duking out a bit. Some good harass from Yuno. The stun lands, and again with the Phosphorus Bomb. This is a nasty combo here, but the sustain from Soraka is pretty strong as long as those star calls keep on landing. As long as Udak, not sure how to say that one, has the health to keep giving over, Trucklax will have the health to sustain through these trades, even if they don't quite go in Red Team's favor every time. They're getting pushed up, but he's holding his own. Down by 4 CS, not so terrible at 3.5 minutes, or 4 minutes or so. Rek'Sai is down in that area of the jungle as a star call doesn't quite hit his mark. Looks to be going for an invade, though, actually. We can actually see Naru finds Sharks in his jungle, going for the red buff there on the minimap. I'm going to swap the camera down there so we can see what's happening. Naru's waiting in the bush, and does he get the steal? He got the steal on the red buff! Over the wall with the tunnel he had previously placed. And I do apologize if my camera work is not always on point. It is difficult to cast and move the camera at the same time, and I don't exactly have a dedicated cameraman for my 1,000 sub channel. But hey, I love you guys. Not to deride the channel, you guys are wonderful. Thank you, anyone who is watching, as Wickd gets his base interrupted. I always hate when that happens. It just feels like such a BM move from the enemy laner, but hey. It's an effective one, and when you're at this level of play, BM does not really come into play. Ooh, the silence lands. Doesn't quite translate into a snare, though, from Udak. And suddenly, the lane that looked really in favor of, Yuno and Amano is now someone against them. Naru, no! The Grump proves too strong, an angry frog. Too much for Rek'Sai to handle. Gets executed. Humiliated in his own jungle. That is what the executed line used to actually say, humiliated instead, or humiliation, or something along those lines, but they thought it was a little bit too mean. So, They ended up changing it to executed. I kind of wish they'd still kept it. But then again, I'm a very unkind and mean person. So there's that. Armano and Yuno getting bullied away a little bit here, actually. The CS lead still in Armano's favor, to his credit. But Yuno's below half health. Thankfully, Rengar's on the top side of the map, or else there might be something of an issue down here. But even so, ooh, nice stun. Speaking of Rengar, he might be in a lot of trouble. And actually, no. It's Rek'Sai who's the jungler. I'm confused because they are both jungle champions. But yes, it is a Rengar top. And he's not even running Smite, so I have no right to be confused. As we have seen some top laners running Smite recently. Particularly Shyvana is of note, but some others as well. Ooh, Wickd going in. Does take a tower shot. They are really pressuring this hard. Shark's actually taking 2 tower hits as he body slams forward, but doesn't quite land it. And now Rek'Sai up in the top lane. Naru might be in some trouble. A little bit greedy for that pink ward. Gets over the wall despite the stun. However, Wickd is going to keep on after him with the Blade Surge. Gets knocked up by the Unburrow, and here comes Haluka. He has 5 stacks of Ferocity and the Exhaust. Leaps in from the bush, and Wickd is going very, very low, but Haluka is doing the same as well. Jumps away, leaps back in for the first blood, and picks up a kill on Rengar. Nice place to have it for Red Team. That top lane, as you saw during that fight, it was very close up until this point, but Rengar might be able to start snowballing forward with that advantage. Especially considering that'll probably translate into a bit of a CS advantage as well, since there was still a wave on its way into the lane. And he's going to be able to take that out, push it under the tower, deny some CS and base, as well as gathering some himself. So, oh, actually, Armano using the Valkyrie just to push. As they did see that Trucklax and UdaQ. I'm going to alternate between the two names, because I like them both. Udak, UdaQ. Sure, somebody in the comments will correct me. Does head on home? Do head on home back to base, giving up a little bit of farm. But they had enough of the BF sword, and that'll actually give a huge power spike over the Corki at this point. Corki and Lucian are both pretty mid-game focused-ish lane bullies. Lucian a bit less so than Corki, but still to some extent. In some previous iterations of Lucian, when he was much more focused on getting the Triforce rush, he was a bunch more mid-game focused, but the recent playstyle of Lucian does scale a bit better into the later game. With the changes to Infinity Edge and stuff. That's going way back, though. As Yuno looks to gather some vision control near the dragon pit, as well as just bottom lane, but it doesn't stop Hulaka from coming in, and there is the first gank of the game for the Rengar. Doesn't even have to be a jungler. He can get ganks off. Bolas doesn't connect onto Yuno, but that's not really a problem. They've already gotten a kill. They don't need another. That would just be greedy. The farm alarm. Back up to top lane. Naru actually, maybe a bit more than a farm alarm this time. The Unburrow onto Scrim, or Wicked Scrim. Presumably Wicked's scrimmage account. If I had to make an educated guess. Yes, I know. I do in fact work with Sherlock Holmes. Red team takes down the dragon, despite the fact that Rek'Sai rushed top with that ulti. Just off the pressure that Hulaka was able to create in the bottom lane. With that surprise Rengar gank. Even when he's all the way on the other side of the map, you gotta be careful with that guy. Well, Forbidden gets ganked by Wicked as well, but it doesn't work out quite as well as Red Team's top lane gank did. He does find Naru waiting in the jungle, but I think Naru actually has this fight. The challenging smite is there. Turns back around, chases away the Aurelia. He has the fight if Aurelia stays for the fight. Otherwise, Aurelia can simply walk away. That's not really something that Rek'Sai can stop her from doing at this point, especially considering, I believe that's a Cinderhulk Rek'Sai. Yes, it is, so not really exactly a hugely aggressive build. Hulaka getting chunked down below half health. The Phage paying off for Wicked there. Yuno didn't land the Thundering Shuriken. Could possibly have gone in had he done that. There's another one, does land. He's looking for the stun. He gets silenced up, though. He can't follow it up with a Slicing Maelstrom until perhaps it's a little bit too late. No, he's still getting chunked down below half health, but the Soraka heals are there in force. And Trucklax will be just fine. Did have to burn the exhaust off of the Soraka, but we saw the Ignite come from Yuno's Kennen as well, so trading the non-flash summoners from both supports, and Trucklax is going to have a ton of health left. Udak is a little bit low, but they have Naru coming in from the side. Yuno is going very, very low. The Prey Seeker connects, but Sharks is there as well. Trucklax forced to flash away, but gets exploded by the cask. Lives up to its name. And here comes Yukiteru. Armano really wants this kill. He does get it onto Udak. And he manages to escape from the tower's wrath as well. That'll be 2 kills for blue team, and they needed them. Momentum all over the board was starting to fall against them, but just escaping with barely any health left. Naru actually is still hanging around. Prey Seeker connects, and that is enough by itself, maxing that Q first. Not very often that you see a non-AP Rek'Sai get a kill with Prey Seeker, but there's a first time for everything. Hulaka coming in. Chooses to spend the ferocity on the Q. Wicked Scrim is getting exhausted, and he's going very, very low. Hulaka burns the ulti just to get the ferocity up, and it seems to be worth it. Here's the flash in, though. Soph saves Wicked's life. Good lord. How did Wicked not die? I want to rewatch that at this point, because I think there was a moment there where Rek'Sai wasn't, not Rek'Sai, Rengar wasn't CC'd, but perhaps the Equilibrium Strike came in at just the right time to keep him alive. It happened so quickly, I wasn't even able to quite notice. But still, a really, really fortuitously timed gank for Soph. Forbidden looking to chase Yuno away, but it's just right into the waiting arms of Trucklax. Here comes the Rek'Sai ulti as well. This is a really aggressive play onto Yuno here. There's Forbidden, though, looking to go with the damage onto Amano instead, and that's going to be a kill picked up for red team. This blue team was just way too overextended, trying to gain vision control around this dragon pit. The dragon isn't even up at this point. Naru isn't able to steal away with Krugs, but he does force the smite out of Sharks. Probably not going to be too impactful, but he's harassing him. He's showing him who's boss. And Trucklax is most likely going to be able to get this turret here. Not really much in the area to stop him. He's just going to use it, actually, against the enemy. Use their own turrets against them to clear out the minions and deny a bunch of gold. Good small-scale strategical play. Adds up over time. Wicked maybe setting up for the dive here. It does have a Rek'Sai waiting in the wings, though, so it's dangerous for him to be this far up. He's doing some good damage, and it looks like he wants to go for the dive. Hulaka is chunked down really low with the Soraka heal from across the map. That wish saves his life. Here comes Naru from the side, forces the flash away from Wicked. And now Sharks is roaming up towards the top lane, looking to clean up for blue team. The cast chunks away Naru's health as we have Soph roaming up as well. The chunks are there in force. Whoa, good through the tunnel. Maybe Naru can escape. Another tunnel going to take him even closer to the tower. He's barely any health left, and there's the ulti from Sharks. Knocks away Hulaka, but he isn't in his ult. Invisible Rengar, but where does he have to go? He isn't going to be safe no matter which direction he chooses. The charm doesn't connect. The Orb of Deception doesn't land. He manages to live, but the flash from Sharks might be able to fix that. The exhaust is not going to be able to mitigate enough damage. Wicked Scrim is here for the double kill, and he is not going to let up. Until, of course, Trucklax shows him the business end of his guns. Business ends. There's 2 of them, of his guns. And after all that, just a calm taking of the blue buff. Give that over to Soph. He's going to be very happy with that. Quite low on mana himself, and at least Amano is going to be able to get some damage down on the bottom lane turret as well, though that was 2 kills given over to Wicked. Who's going to be dangerous moving into the next few minutes. Sharks, no. Sharks, you can't do it. Sharks, buddy, no! The Gromp claims another life. The Brotherhood of the Gromp. Where's Naru going? He's ulting down to the bottom lane. Crossing the map in a matter of moments. Might get a kill. Instead, just looking to get some pressure down there. Show up in time for the dragon, which will be in about 10 seconds. And actually, burning that ulti now means that he isn't able to go back to base and still reliably be near the dragon pit when he needs to, so could be dangerous. And this dragon fight is one that I think blue team's going to want to take. They have the Kennen ulti up, which will be really valuable for them, as well as Sharks. They have a lot of AoE disengage, stuns, things like that. And then they have, well, they don't quite have the second Triforce, but they do at least have 1 Triforce completed on Aurelia. But they don't have the resources nearby. The dragon's getting burnt down. The blue trinket is there. They might be able to steal it now. Armano doesn't get the burst in time. Naru. Pick up the second dragon of the game for red team. This game is pretty close. Not quite sure what the next move will be. Looks like blue team is wanting to group up in mid lane. Wickd dashing forward. Doesn't quite get anything out of it, except for the culling, actually. Onto Yuno. Does some good damage. Soph is looking for the dive here. Gets knocked away by the ult. He can't dash through it, but it doesn't matter. The Ignite was burning, and he picks up the kill. One more tower shot. Soph, that was really dangerous. Oversteps a bit, but thankfully his opponent was already dead. Wickd is playing very far up. Really aggressive here. More than half of his health gone. This might have been over-aggression from his part, though he is baiting Naru back. He gets chunked incredibly low. The rocket follows him, but just explodes on his tail. And now Armano and Yuno might push up the mid lane, might look for some vision control. And actually, might just back off entirely, as red team is still fielding a few members here. Sharks. Okay, he can handle that one. He had the smite up. He's able to take down the red buff. Dies to the Grump, but can handle the red buff. And now might be a good time to take stock of what the next move will be for red team, specifically, because they are, well, they're behind in terms of gold, as you can see simply by looking at the numbers. That is how numbers work. But I don't really want to say that they're incredibly far behind in general, because they do have an Azir, first off, who's going to be scaling hard as the game moves forward. And he wasn't really crushed. To be fair, his laning opponent, Soph, is doing quite well. This is why I usually choose NA games. I can't pronounce these names, you European people. There's not enough freedom in your names. I just can't say them. It's really a problem. Oh, Wickd going under the tower. Gets snared up, though. The exhaust is onto him. The tower shots are adding up, and his health is going to be going away. Now Armano is forced to flash away as Yuno is in a tough spot as well. His flash gets burnt. Naru is continuing on the chase, the front line with that tanky Rek'Sai. There's the knockback from Forbidden. Yuno is going to be going down. Pick that kill up on the enemy AD carry as Forbidden flashes away. The ulti! Not going to take him down, and actually, that'll be the ace for red team. Without losing a single member. Well, I was saying they were perhaps a little bit behind, but that, I have to completely revise that at this point. Udak gives all of his health back to Forbidden. And they take 2 turrets in the mid lane, 5 kills. One of which I believe was a shutdown onto the Lucian, though I might be mistaken. At least it was a kill onto the Lucian, which is a great place to have it in the end. And they're going to start scaling pretty hard as we move forwards. We still haven't even reached the 20-minute mark, so we still have a very scary Aurelia on Wickd right now, or a very scary Wickd on Aurelia, rather. And the Trinity Force was completed for Corki a little while ago, so that's a nice power spike for him. That's still going to be a pretty huge deficit they'll have to work their way back from. It's not a mortal blow by any stretch of the imagination, but it is going to wound them. Wickd flashing forward, actually, onto Trucklax. He doesn't have any mana, just enough for a dash away. The wish there, going to keep him alive a little bit longer as well. Wickd, a few more tower shots, and he goes down. He keeps biting off more than he can chew. He's really trying to make use of this power spike that I was talking about, the Triforce on the Aurelia at 17, 18 minutes into the game. There are few things in this game scarier than that, but still not really able to 3v1 under a turret. Not very many things I can do that. Nice dodging from Sharks. Hulaka laughs in the face of his enemies, though, even when they manage to dodge out every single bullet. No, except one. As soon as I say that, literally the instant. Shark's just looking to disprove me. I'm sure he looked forward into the future, saw I would be casting this game, and with that prescience decided to disprove me. But Hulaka now getting knocked up by the giant belly of Sharks, but he has backup, and that's why he was going for this fight. A 3v1 in top lane again. I'm getting a bad case of deja vu, but this time it's a fat man instead of a sword-slinging girl. Or woman. I'm not sure how old Aurelia is. This Wickd shows up once again, dashing in. He is relentless with his aggression. Even when the last 2 attempts didn't work out, he's still going for a third, and maybe this one will. Does pull the ult out of Hulaka. Some health back from Udak, though, so he's turning around. He's taking this fight once again. The silence on the Wickd. The exhaust is there as well. Here comes Soof from the side, though, and Hulaka will get shut down. One more charge. Soof continues the chase to Udak, picking up a double kill. Armano now turning some damage onto Forbidden. He's going to be taken down. Nearly goes down himself, as Naru cannot fight this 2v1. One more auto triple kill comes in for the Ahri here. Really, really solid Ahri play so far. Been in the right place at the right time. That is the story of Suf's Ahri this game. Suf Sef. Suf Saf Suf. Oh. Wickd just tanking up that ulti. He doesn't care at all because he knows he has backup waiting in the wings. Trucklax does not. And Wickd can continue on this chase as long as he wants. Here comes Yuno. Is the stun there? The charm gets dashed away from. Suf still going under the tower though. Foxfire, only one charge necessary, and the Orb of Deception for the speed buff to get out of the tower range. Good quick thinking there. Good use of the Q. Wickd. No, we've had too many deaths to jungle monsters this game. Do not be another victim. Okay. Yuno helps him out, so he manages to avoid dying to the Krugs there, but we've had so many humiliations this game. Well, 2. But that's more than usual. Usually it's 0. 2 is an infinitely higher percentage than the usual. Though not the average, because the average would probably be somewhere between 0 and 1. Mathematics. With Octavian. More mathematics. Both teams have 12 kills. But only one team has 2 dragons. Can you tell me which one? This is beginning to sound like a Dora the Explorer show. Naru is doing the dragon. Here comes a few members of blue team from the side, however. Taking down some vision on their way in. That's how they roll. Gragas rolls with the barrel. Ooh, Trucklax dashes past. That was a very dangerous route to take, but he does manage to survive. Doesn't get punished for it. Ooh, nice damage onto Suf. Half his health gone. Forbidden making use of that soldier. It's very intent to stab there. There's Wickd. He dashes on in. Actually stolen away. Armano gets the dragon. Now Naru turning around, using his tankiness to his advantage to just face in onto that Corki. Sharks trying to get to the back line, but Trucklax will dash over the tower and does not get followed. Sharks fails his body slam. Suf is going to be able to clean up here, though. Charm flies out. Double kill for him. Foxfire does his work for him. Auto-targeting. Not too hard to land that. Trucklax and Udak, along with Naru, might still be able to go for this fight here. Dangerous Ahri to approach, though, and none of them want to walk at her. In the end, that'll be a 2-for-2 trade, but the steal from Amano makes it worth it for blue team. And they do manage to get their first dragon of the game. That Corki burst, too strong. Wickd is really fishing for this 1v1 with Trucklax right now. Which he should be. I mean, he should be looking to use the power spike that he still has. Dash forward. Look at how aggressive this Aurelia is. But it makes sense. He's starting to dwindle. And sometime in the next 5 or 10 minutes or so, most likely 5, more likely 5 than 10, he's gonna become a bit less relevant. A bit more of a tank than an assassin. So he's trying to really make use of that potential to assassinate that he currently has. Mono gets silenced, no Valkyrie away, but still, 2 members of blue team there. As they are grouping near mid. Though I don't think they're going to be pushing it up any further than just past the river. Grouping more to stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe, everybody. Grouping more to stay safe than to push any sort of objective. Oh, here comes the Rek'Sai ulti. Naru looking for the fight with Sharks, but they are both super duper tanks. Heavy duty men. Very large gentlemen. One of them is a lady and also a shark. However, Udak gets most of his health taken away, and then the rest of it as well, as Suf picks up a godlike kill. Forbidden is off to the side, and where did Armano's health go? That was off the screen somewhere, but apparently Armano lost a lot of his health. Wickd is split pushing. Does have the Trinity Force to make that a bit easier. And it looks like he's going to be able to take that. Nobody from red team is anywhere nearby. There's once again the blue buff goes over to Suf's hands, paws, tails. And we return to a bit of a quieter moment on the map, after a bit of tension resolves itself in the top lane. Dragon still not up for a good while yet. Baron probably not going to be an objective for a while. Forbidden actually going for the 1v1 with Wickd. He's turning around, he's on to Trucklax right now, and he is just trying to salvage something from this. But it looks like going for that pink ward was a little bit too greedy. Did manage to take Trucklax's heal, but not worth it for the death. Interesting build path from Yuno. gone with the Rylai's Rush after picking up support items, of course. With the Sightstone. And hasn't actually completed the Frost Queen's claim yet. Which makes some sense. I guess it's more valuable to get a slow on a lot of different abilities rather than simply one activated slow. And the health is nice from the Rylai's as well, because he's not really able to build into his Zhonya's Hourglass. It's way too expensive as a support. The Rylai's is, to be fair, pretty expensive in and of itself, but at least the health is more valuable in the lane. The pieces are stronger, because the Seeker's not very good as a support. You're not getting farm, so you're not really taking advantage of that passive on the Seekers. And the Needlessly Large is a hugely expensive component. You have to save up gold for a long time before you get anything out of buying that. Because that whole time that you're not buying anything because you're saving the 1600 for the Needlessly Large, you don't have any statistics out of your gold. It's just sitting there uselessly. It's dead weight in your inventory. So, the Rylai's is a better choice here. Soof getting chunked down as Sharks is going in to try and avenge his fallen comrade, but Hulaka just has too much burst. They can't stop him from taking somebody out. Yuno now going into the backlines, trying to utilize his damage and his CC, but he gets chunked away. Finally, he does get the kill into Forbidden. There's the damage onto Udak as well. Wickd is showing up, and he is trying to clean this fight up. Here comes Armano dashing to the backlines. Udak getting with barely any health, as does Trucklax. And it looks like that will be a 1-for-2 trade in favor of blue team. Hulaka showing off exactly how much burst he can do, but there wasn't much follow-up beyond it. Forbidden still needs some time to scale forward. He's got a lot of AP under his belt. But he's lacking a little bit in attack speed. Maybe should build some cooldown reduction into there beyond the Athenes. Though the Athenes is pretty strong. It's 20% cooldown reduction. That'll give him a good chunk because of the Azir passive. Oh, we have Naru coming around from the side. Spots out Wickd with his passive. Knocks him up as well. Wickd flashing away here. The CC has been used. Naru might be able to get another one onto him, but he's still unable to be knocked up. There we go. Passive times out. If he can get next to him, he can unburrow him again. Wickd turning around. Not going to be able to salvage anything from that. And once again, overextending into a death. Wickd has been having a rough game on Aurelia here. The first few times it was a bit of over-aggression, nearly getting kills and backing out. But now he's just stepping too far up, and he's not even of his own prerogative, really. He's not going for kills, nearly getting them, and then being in an unfortunate situation, not quite managing it. He's just overextending at this point. Yuno, down below half health, forced to pop the ulti. As a disengage, speaking of disengage, Sharks is there with his ulti as well. Suf, once again, the target of Hulaka. He is going to be chunked down, though! His burst wasn't enough to finish off the kill. So he didn't have anything left afterwards. Now Shark turning onto Udak, brings him down very, very low, but he's in a 3v1, and that is not a tenable situation. No matter how large your gut, double kill for Trucklax as the culling is nicely placed across the wall. And Yuno goes down. Red team takes a small lead once again, and that seems to be the way this game is going. Small leads swinging back and forth from one side to another. Very close, very tense game. Bit of a lead for red in terms of dragons, but blue does have a turret up. So overall, that about equalizes, I would say. However, 3 dragons leads quickly into 5, and 1 does not. So I think the dragons are going to be a hot position of contestation between these teams as we move forward. That's a fun word. Rek'Sai ulti to get closer to the Baron. Udak looking for some vision in the area. Perhaps we'll be seeing an attempt at Baron by red team soon. Quietness on the map. He's bound to break out in a storm at one point or another. Wickd does not have teleport up, which is probably why he's hanging around with the team right now. Because given the way he's been playing the rest of this game, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go off and try and split push somewhat. He has been able to get some good objectives out of that split pushing. He got 2 turrets down in the bottom lane. That's one of the reasons why blue team has the turret lead. But here's Suf, he's looking to make a play. Does get the kill into Hulaka. Whoa, I didn't think he'd have that. He missed the charm. But his burst is just so intense at this point. Here goes Wickd. As we swap back up to Suf once again in the 1v1 with Naru. Not quite as squishy as Hulaka was, but still doesn't output much damage himself. Down below half, Suf is here with the consistent damage from the Foxfires as well as Sharks to CC him up. He's trying to play ring around the turret, but that's not going to matter. In the end, Sharks will finish off the kill, and that is a 2-for-0 for blue team. Might be enough to put the pressure onto the Baron pit. And they're going to start it off, you know, with some vision control. That is a very nicely placed ward from red team. I have never considered doing that. That's very interesting. Still gets spotted out, but less likely to right there. Viven coming around from the side. If he can make this work, this flank could be really impactful. However, Baron has already gone down. I think it's just time for red team to cut their losses. Trucklax is going to be one of their losses, as is Udak. They both go down. Suf has the ulti back up again, and he dashes over a wall with it. Double kill for the Ahri. 13-2. CW Suf has been playing a magnificent game. There's the ulti pop from Hulaka. Don't know where he's going with that one. Could maybe try for Sharks, but Sharks is really tanky. Wickd going in onto Naru. I don't know if he really wants this fight, though. He does have the Baron buff minions on his side, but Naru is super good at these 1v1s. The challenging smite, as well as just how ridiculously tanky he is. And the true damage chunks. Wickd can't take the 1v1, but he's looking for it again. He knows he has Suf coming in off the backside. But these tunnels, he's got so many of them. Good lord. He covers so much distance in so short a time, but Suf is still waiting around the corner. Spots him out with the echolocation, but there's the ulti up. Can he get away in time? The charm lands on the Naru. He was side, I don't know if stepping is the right word, side tunneling back and forth as best he could, but he still got hit by that bolt of death. Ooh, another charm onto Udak. Really nice one. Completely max range there. Suf is dominating, and the man deserves it. Really, really well played Ahri so far. Been pushing the scales in favor of blue team. This game has been incredibly even so far. Otherwise, rather. But Suf has dominated the mid lane. Flash forward from Sharks. There's the ulti to knock from Biffen back. And the kill will be nicely cleaned up by the Ahri. Now Trucklax might be in some trouble. Cleanse out from Wickd. Taking a lot of damage from the laser, but it doesn't matter. Amano is there to clean up the kill, and blue team definitively ahead. They have a Baron buffed wave. They have 4 members. They have Wickd flashing to the backlines to zone away Hulaka. They have the ulti from Yuno. They are diving so far for these kills, but if they get them, it's basically the game. The inhibitor is now going to be going down as the Baron buff is still running. Suf dashing in the exhaust. Dropped onto him just to keep them from cleaning up any further kills. Rek'Sai ults away to the top lane. Just trying to escape the carnage. Doesn't want to watch. As the Nexus explodes, Suf flashes over for a charm. And that'll be the end of yet another episode of Challenger Casts. Thank you guys for watching. And I'll be seeing you next time.